Sounds like the gerbils are working this time.
We're having them do the die cutting today.
Shot, yeah. Oh, the Waxford stamper is live.
Look out for me.
Ooh, we got some people on. Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Sweet clickety click here.
Clickety clack. Don't.
We have to include everyone. We don't want to leave anyone out.
We don't. I'll share it today. So
okay.
We'll get cracking. Crack-a-lackin'.
All right, there we go.
All right, we've got some ladies on there. Good morning. We would love for you guys to share this because we're super excited to share it with you. Can't believe it's March already.
That's closer to spring, so it's good.
That's true.
Today's going to be beautiful. So
I know.
I'm excited.
I know. We're going to let you guys go outside today. Usually we tell you to stay inside and stamp, but the doctor ordered outside with some vitamin C, vitamin D, and A, B, and E.
Yes, every one of them.
Yeah.
Get out there.
That's right. Get out.
You can stamp on the back porch.
Oh yeah, you can stamp on the porch. You can stamp on the front porch.
Yeah.
Stamp on the sidewalk, wherever. Yeah. All right. So we are going to go ahead and get started this morning. And I am starting you guys off with Hydrangea Hill.
There's the whole thing.
Okay. And we're going to take it off of that so you guys can see it. This is the most fabulous suite ever, even though I say that about everyone in the catalog. Okay.
This is the best ever.
This is the best ever. But it really is. So you have beautiful designer series paper. You have some amazing, you guys know I love my embellishments. So it has amazing embellishments and ribbon. And for all the people out there whose favorite color is purple, this is your sweet gals. All right. So we are going to make 3 projects with you. Hey, Rice. Thanks for tuning back in and watching. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Linda. I know I had my 2 cups of coffee this morning. Can you tell? Maybe I should not have any more today. All right. So we'll be making 3 projects, and I'm going to start out by sharing a couple of samples with you just so you can see the gorgeous designer series paper. And then we'll go ahead and get started. As a reminder, there is a to-go kit available for this class. And you can receive that to-go kit when you place your $30 product order, or the to-go kit is $15. So just let us know in the thread, or you can message us privately and let us know that you would like a to-go kit for the cards and coffee class. Okay, so let me see if I can do this all by myself. Look at me. Whew. I'm doing the I'm the AV gal this morning, so
Yay, you're learning.
Hopefully you guys don't get dizzy or nauseous, but anyway. All right. So I'm going to share a couple samples. I posted these on my business page this week, but this designer series paper is absolutely gorgeous. And I just want to show you how simple it is. Hey, Angie. Okay, Kim, we won't tell anybody that you're sneaking this in during work. If you need me to whisper, let me know. So this is simply the designer series paper where I've just fussy cut around. I added a little bit of Wink of Stella. I love the sentiments in this set. The world is better because of you. And then I added some, these are actually from the Sand and Sea, but that's super simple, quick and easy way to make a beautiful card. Here's another one. I stepped it up a little bit and I added some of the little flowers, which you'll see in my project today. I just added a couple little leaves and another sentiment, it's your day.
There. That's cute.
Okay. So you can, see the difference between the 2 of those. Just a little, a little pop-up.
Something, something.
Little something, something going on there. So here's one where it uses the stamp. the hydrangea stamp with the leaves. I added the brick and mortar background, and I added the soft sky. No, is that right?
Which one?
Soft sky.
Soft sky.
No, not soft sky.
Balmy blue?
No. Seaside spray.
Seaside spray.
I know, is that too many S's for me to say? Sorry, soft sky was an old color. Shh. Don't tell Shelly Gardner or Sarah. Okay, so this is the brick and mortar. I took the Seaside spray and put it over top of my embossing folder, and when I ran it through, and then it gives your little the little light hue on your bricks there. Okay, and then this is one of the dies that's actually included in the set too. I love little stitching around the outside. You are capable of amazing things. Very inspirational. Here's another one that just uses the DSP and the little pearls. Love it. It's your day, enjoy it. That could be for anything. Doesn't have to be for a birthday, could be for anything. And then here's one that uses the acetate. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then this is one of the dies. And then the little flowers you can add on top, so it makes it look 3D, like you actually have a hydrangea growing off of your card. And then I just added, you are capable of amazing things. And one of the other dies there too. Okay.
I just said that with so much conviction. Growing.
I know, I did. I did. Here's super simple, just stamping right on the designer series paper. You make me smile. No embellishments or anything, and it's a beautiful card. Okay. And then here's one where I used the little row of flowers, the hydrangea, and the little I love you, and a little scalloped oval. And of course, there has to be an embellishment on there somewhere, right? So right there in the corner. Last but not least, this is one of the, I cut this right out of the designer series paper, used my stitched circle, scallop circle behind it. This is Rococo Rose, and added some of the little embellishments. Ooh, my one fell off there, but I did have 3 on there. And another quick and easy card. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start off today with, this is the first card that we are going to make. So it uses the ribbon. Let me make sure my ribbon's on there. It uses the embellishments, uses the DSP, 2 different pieces, and then you have your little sentiment there. I appreciate all the little things you do. Okay, so we're gonna start with that one. Let me get my little paper packet here. So I just wanted to show you, I simply used one of my, I used my scallop circle. Okay, I just placed it right on top of whichever image you want. Okay, you can see there's several to choose from. I ran that through our stamp cut and emboss machine, and this was the one that I chose to use today. Okay, and then I used a scallop circle, and you guys know how I love to use my paper that I'm using in my card and cut directly from that instead of using another piece of paper. So that's what I did, and that's how I came up with the little background that I needed right there for that one. Okay, so just wanted to show you how I did that. I'm going to move this aside, and we'll get our card parts going here. All right, so we are going to start just by layering, because we're not going to do any stamping. Whoops, Barb, can you trim this for me?
Sure.
Wait, never mind. I got the wrong piece. I thought I had it. I got the wrong piece of white. This is for the inside. So we're going to use 3 and this is 4 by 5 1/4. And when I'm stamping, I always just come in 1/4 of an inch when I'm doing my layering, unless you have a different, you know, layer that you're looking for. But it's always 1/4 of an inch that you come in. So we're going to start with that. And then I have a piece of designer series paper, and it's purple. So, and you can see it's the Rococo Rose on the other side. So if you wanted to, you know, make another card and just change your cardstock colors, you could do that too. So you could cut out a couple of these and make a couple of different ones. All right, so that's gonna go right on the bottom. Then we're gonna take a piece of our, this is Gorgeous Grape ribbon, and it fits the name. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm gonna do a faux. And you're like, a what? I'm gonna do a faux bow. So this is how I do my faux bows. You're gonna place it directly on the front of your card. And what I like to do is I see you have this little line on the ribbon. It's like the seam. I like to place that right on the edge of the cardstock, because then you can't see how you can see behind it. That may not bother you, but that bothers me a great deal. So I like to put my seam on the top, kind of where the two cards overlap, or pieces of cardstock overlap, and then you can't see that overlapping piece. Okay, so there is that right there. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a bow, and this is beautiful ribbon for bows. And I always tie it on the spool. Like I've told you this before, if you've watched me stamp, that way you don't lose it. And you can kind of see whether you're using too much or, you know, not enough or whatever. So it's kind of just a helpful tool. And then when you're done, you can just put it aside. Okay, so I have those two pieces there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm going to attach my stitched circle. And it doesn't really matter which way this goes. It's just kind of a little spray of flowers there. Okay. So someone is making a great deal of noise in the background. Won't mention any names. So we're going to put this on with dimensionals. You could put it on flat, but when I put ribbon on my projects, I always like to raise the image with dimensionals, just because ribbon isn't necessarily flat. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my dimensionals in a triangle formation so that it goes on the side of the ribbon. Okay, so it's not sticking right on top. Then I'm going to take a glue dot, and I am going to put that right on top of my ribbon or my bow, and then put that right on the side. And that's why it's called a faux. So you're not wrapping it all the way around your card and worrying about tying your bow. You're just doing a faux, and it actually saves on your ribbon as well. Okay, so this is our purple posy cardstock. We are going to fold this in half. It's 4 1/4 by 11. And we're going to use our beautiful reed bone folder. Okay, and then this piece is going to go right on top of the card. All right, and again, using dimensionals, always using dimensionals. Okay, and then you can also see when you turn it over where I cut that scallop from. So there's no need to get another whole, piece of Gorgeous Grape and cut. You can just use the actual card, or not the actual card, the piece from the cardstock that you're using for your card, and cut that little piece out, and no one will ever know that there's a hole in their card unless you tell them, but of course you're not going to tell them. All right, so there is that. Then I have this little adorable little scallop, I don't know, corner rounded rectangle. We'll
go with that.
We'll go with that, right? Corner rounded rectangle. And I'm going to use this block here. And it says, I appreciate the little things you do. And sometimes we forget to thank people for the little things, right? So this is a great card, like it just because. And I'm going to use the Gorgeous Grape ink. I'm going to say a little Stampin' Prayer. I'm going to do it off camera, just in case. Let's see what happens. Okay, I think it's a little askew, but I give myself, kind of a B. But is Lisa on? I don't know.
She's our askew girl.
So you could either put this down in the right-hand corner, or you can put it in the left-hand corner. I'm going to put it underneath of my little spray of hydrangeas there. Okay, here we go. All right. So I appreciate all the little things you do, just like that. Then I'm going to take, we have to have some embellishments, right? So I'm going to take, these are the pearls that come in the set. I'm going to use my take your pick tool. And of course, we all know how many we're going to use, right? So when you're adding embellishments, you add odd numbers because it's more pleasing to the eye. Just believe me. It's scientific. It's science. Stampin'. That's right. Stampin' scientific proof. And then you're gonna put your piece on the inside. Okay. Just like this. And that'll be your white piece. You could actually, you wouldn't have to have the piece of white on the inside because this is such a light cardstock that, you know, you wouldn't need it, but I think it just makes it look a little bit more, polished. Then we have our envelope, right? And what's the rule? No naked envelopes. So there is a little, it's like a portion, a little flower portion, if that makes sense. Segment, maybe, I don't know. And I'm gonna just stamp that right there in the corner. Okay, so that will be on your envelope. And there is project number 1. Okay, let me clean up my stuff. And then we'll move on to project number 2. This is a kind of a fun fold, so I'm excited to share this one with you. All right, guys. This is our second card. It uses the hydrangea, and it uses the designer series paper. It uses the cute little tags, some ribbon, dies, pretty much uses it all. And it flips open like this, okay? So it's kind of like a mouth. It opens like a mouth, all right? I'm brave. I usually stamp and then die cut my verbiage. Sometimes, you know, it just depends. If you're on national Facebook television, you never know what's going to happen. So, all right, so let's go ahead and make this one together. And this would be one that would also come in your to-go kit, all right? So here we go. And I have to show you this, this is one of the dies that is in the set, okay? And look at the little, it cuts out the little flowers. So the little flowers are what allows you to add the pop to the hydrangea and make it look like it's actually flowering off your card, all right? So let me make sure. Yep, all right, so here we go. So we have, these are the pieces that we're gonna need. This is the hydrangea that is in the set, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I've already stamped it. So I used my, my markers, actually. My Gorgeous Grape at the top and my Old Olive at the bottom. And the great way, it's a great way that you can, let me take these, there's some extra pieces on this. Hold on one second. So you can color the top in with the Gorgeous Grape. You would color in the bottom with the Old Olive, and that gives you the 2 tones there, okay? And what we're gonna do, I promise you this will be okay. We're gonna cut this apart. Ouch. I know, did you hear it? It's like, and I'm just gonna use the leaves for this. I don't want the stem because I have a stem that I've already cut out. But I do just want the leaves for this, okay? So we're just gonna cut these apart so we can use just the leaves, and you'll see why, all right? So, but we're gonna color these in first. And we're gonna use these super fun, have you guys seen these? These are the blending brushes. And they are so soft that I almost want to use them to apply my blush, but I decided against it because, you know, just not a good call. So what you're going to do with these, seriously, they come 3 in a pack, and look how, like, they're bristly, just like a brush. Okay. So my gorgeous scrape, what I like to do is I kind of just dab it. And if you want to, if you have a scrap piece of paper, do you have a scrap piece of paper, Mrs. Reed?
No, not a single
Come
piece.
on. Yes, you do.
Do you care what color?
It doesn't, like, if a white or maybe.
A white? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with white.
Okay.
All right.
No scrap paper around
I know,
here.
no scrap paper around here. So if you want to, you can kind of dab it around just to play with it a little bit. And then you can see how well it blends. And you can go from light to dark. I like to have a little scrap piece first to kind of get that initial, you know. And then you're just going to take it and blend it around right on top of your hydrangea. Okay. If you want it to be darker, you can do the little, and if you wanted that kind of, you know, that kind of look too, you could do that. But I want the soft look. I'm a soft girl. I want a soft look. All right, so there's your blended hydrangea. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing. Put my brush over here with the Old Olive and with the oh, what the heck? Oh yeah, someone stole my ink pad. Goodness, never know what's gonna happen around here. So I have my 3 leaves.
Sometimes I try to be helpful and it's not.
I know. Yeah, she always packs stuff up when I haven't used it. She's super helpful. Super helpful. Wouldn't trade her for anything. At least today.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just blend. And see this? I'm gonna show you, this is what it looks like when you dab. So you have dabbing. If you want to, like, you know, dab over your blend. But these are super, I love these, the blending brushes. They're awesome. Like I said, they're 3 in a pack, so they're super, super great. And they're in the JJ catalog, the January through June catalog. All right, so we have our 3 leaves. Okay. I'm going to take my scrap paper and throw it right in the trash. So we're going to start with a piece of, can I have the cutter, please? Gorgeous Scrape cardstock.
Taking your life in your hands.
I am with this. It's going to fly out and hit me in the eye. And it's 4 1/4 by 11. Then you're going to bring your piece into your cutter. And you are going to cut off from one side, it doesn't matter, 2 3/4. And that's what's going to give you your fold on the bottom. Okay. And then of course you could save this, because then you could cut a little row of flowers out of it and use it for your pop-up hydrangeas. So, you know, you don't want to throw those things away. All right, so there's our card base. So we're going to come back and just do some layering. So this is Highland Heather. We're breaking out all the purples today. So you have a Highland Heather. Now it's going to go next. Okay, then we have a piece of Whisper White. So this one would be 4 by 5 1/4. This one would be 3 3/4 by 5. All right, just layering here right now. Next, you are going to have a smaller piece of Gorgeous Scrape. And this one, oh, there it went, is 3 by 7 3/4. Okay, and so what you're going to do is you are going to simply fold this one in half. I'm just going to do it right here. and then take your bone folder and score across the top. Okay, so this will be your piece that comes in here and opens that flap right there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna adhere this. So we're gonna put, I'm gonna move this aside. We're gonna put our Stampin' Seal on the back. And I'm gonna use a little bit more because this is a smaller piece and you want it to stick, okay? So I am just going to center it and then use my bone folder to crease it, okay, and level it. Crease it and level it. I sound like I'm a bricklayer or something. Okay, so there is our fold. So basically now we're just gonna decorate. But this is a fun one. It's kind of like a card within a card. So now I have a piece of, this is another piece of Highland Heather. Again, just layering and highlighting some of our designer series paper. So here is our piece of Highland Heather for the bottom. And here is our, oops, designer series paper. So I'm using the one that Misty Moonlight as one of the colors that's in here as well. But then it also has these beautiful little sprays on the other side. And these are ones that you could also cut out with your scallop circle and make cards, highlighting those as well. So there's the front piece, okay, front flap. Okay, now we're gonna do, or I should say our bottom flap. Now we're gonna do our front flap. So we're gonna do the same. We're gonna come in with a piece of Highland Heather. Lots of Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape on this one, so lots of purples. And so we're going to just layer. And then we have a piece of Whisper White that needs to be trimmed. Oh no, where's the little trimmer? Oh, it's in the trash. Goodness gracious. Yeah, where it belongs. He just hops off and does whatever he wants to do. Goodness. Okay. See, he just landed in this on the screen. Yep. Sorry, I need to give it a little bit of a haircut. I cut it the same size. Sometimes that happens when you're, you know, cutting multiple layers. There we go. That fits perfectly right on there. All right. Moving on. So we're going to just put our piece of Whisper White. Basic white. Goodness. One day I'll learn. Okay, so there is the fold. And then you have a piece. I realized what I just did. I used the piece for the inside on the outside, but that's okay. So then you have a piece of Whisper White, basic white. It's ingrained right here on the inside. Okay. And that's the base of your card. So now we're ready to decorate the front. So what I did is I took, this is one of the dies from the set. Okay. I'm going to flip it over because I'm going to add the leaves on the back. Okay. So this leaf, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Tombow. Tombow just makes it easier. So you can go down the center where the veins are, and then you can, this is where your take your pick tool comes in handy. You can just add this right on top, the leaf right on top. Okay, just like that. So you have 3 leaves. So you're going to do the same thing for each one. This is the little side leaf here. So I'm just going to go down the center and then go around the outside just with little dots. Little dots like that. Okay. I like how it just kind of adds that extra effect behind the leaf the outline of the leaf. Like I said, you also had the stem there, but I didn't like how the stem, it was a double stem. I did not care for the double stem. So I showed it and I cut it off. And then this is just going to go right on top. It just gives you that little extra added pizzazz behind it. Okay, so there's your stem. So now you're going to turn it over, and you just need a little bit of your Tombow. Believe me, a little Tom goes a long way. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to put it kind of sideways, askew, not straight up and down. And I'm just going to tap it with my Take Your Pick tool. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my hydrangea on top, and I'm going to use dimensionals for that. So you have 1, 2, and 3. I do everything in 3s, I guess. Have 3 kids, put 3 dimensionals on the back of my hydrangea. You know, it's all the same. All right, so here we go. So you can see where the pieces where I trimmed off, so I'm going to add that right there to the top. Okay, so we could stop there, but heck no. We are going to take these little, it's like I just dumped these out of my mixing bowl, these little flowers, and we're going to add these to the front of the hydrangea. And this adds that little 3D effect. So I'm just going to go around and where I see necessary, I'm going to add little flowers. So I'm going to use my stabbing tool. Just kidding, we don't call it the stabbing tool. It depends on if Barb's sitting next to me or not and I stab her with it, but that's when we call it the stabbing tool. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that one there. And the Take Your Pick tool is nice because you can place it and, you know, kind of show it who's boss a little bit. Mm-hmm. You can also take it and kind of curl it a little bit as well. So if you want them to curl up on the flower, you can do that too. And you can cover it, or you can just kind of highlight some little flowers there as you go. Okay. And this is all I have, so this is all I'm going to do. But yeah, so you can just put those on there, and that just adds kind of a little 3D effect to your hydrangea. And you can still, the nice thing with Tombow is you can move them around. So, you know, if you decide, hey, you don't want, you know, I don't want you there, you can move it around and turn it and whatever. Okay, so there's the little 3D. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is there in the set is a little label, the cutest little label ever. So we are going to, I already pre-cut the label, and then you have, let me show you, on the set you have for you, with love, thank you, I love you, and congrats, and they will all fit on this little label here. Okay, so I am going to do with love on this one. The other one I did thank you, but you know, whatever. So I'm going to stick this right here on my enormous block. And that's a great thing about the acrylic blocks. You can put more than one stamp on there. See, it's huge, but I just put the little with love in the corner, and I am going to stamp it up at the top. Okay, so I have my, ooh, maybe not. I'm going to flip that over. Ooh, that was harsh. Let's see, see if that's better. Oh yeah, that's a little better. With love, okay? And just keeping it real here, ladies. It doesn't always go straight every time. And so then I'm going to take and put a dimensional on the back of this. And I'm going to add it kind of down here at the bottom. Then, of course, I'm going to add a little piece of ribbon, and this is going to be the world's tiniest bow. Okay, hopefully it'll cooperate. There we go. And like I said, the nice thing when you tie it right there on the spool, you can kind of make it whatever size you need. Obviously yours will come pre-tied, but it just makes it nice, and then you don't have to worry about, then you can tell if you're using too much, and you can kind of tuck it in, or, you know, rein yourself in a little bit, like, whoa, 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 that's way too much ribbon. We don't want to waste this beautiful stuff. Okay, so I'm going to put my ribbon on top of my glue dot, and I'm going to remove it with my Take Your Pick tool, and then I'm going to put it right on top of the With Love. So I have my ribbon there, okay? And then last but not least, I am going to get out my spatula. Every time I say spatula, I get excited, like I'm making chocolate chip cookies or something, but no such luck. And I'm going to use the pearls here. Well, maybe. There we go. 1, 2, and because we know we do odd numbers, and 3. Okay, so you just have your hydrangea and some of the other elements. This is a great card. Lisa, you're so funny. She had her alarm set for noon and forgot it was Cards and Coffee Day. Well, we're glad you hopped on and could join us. Okay, so this is the fold for that one. The nice thing is, you know, when I was packing up, I was like, you know what? You could put a sentiment on the inside, but then if you wanted to, you could also put something down here. So if you, you know, put it another little layer and put a piece of white there, you could put another little sentiment there, sign your name here, whatever you wanted to do. So the possibilities are endless. So that's our second card. Okay, let me bring the first one back. So here are your, goodness gracious. These are the first two for today. Okay. And Mrs. Reed is going to bring up the, we're not going to say the rear.
No, I'm the finale.
She's the grand finale. That Barbara Reed, she's the grand finale.
Yep.
So, all right, let me, hold on, let me move this out of the way, so we'll bring those back at the end. And we'll let the amazing...
Well, we'll see if this works. See if they hear this. They now have sound effects.
Oh,
it's like delayed.
okay.
That's clapping for me. Let's see.
Oh, that was rude. I didn't get any claps, but you
They
did.
have really funny sound effects. We'll have to chat about that.
Oh gosh, I can make my own funny sound effects. I don't need them to.
No. All right, ladies. Hello, 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 and welcome. So glad to see everyone today. And we're going to finish up with a new favorite card of mine, a card design I really like. And I used the vellum cardstock to make this one here. And I had a Facebook Live last night and some cards last week that I used the vellum on the card front. Oh, they did hear it, the clapping.
Oh, awesome. Well, next time I'm going to have to...
Oh, I have to show you some of the other ones. They're so funny.
Okay.
All right, but so we are going to show you how to recreate this. So simple, so fun. The vellum that is used for this is not your average vellum, is it, Dory?
No.
No.
Not your average vellum.
This is vellum cardstock, so it's much more rigid than the other, and it stands up to heat embossing. Woo. And it's just a gorgeous accent to any card. Makes it look awfully elegant without you having to put much effort into it. So I'll show you how to make this cute little card using the vellum cardstock as part of the card front. All right, this is actually your card front. It is 5.5 by 5 1/4, and you're thinking, ooh, that looks awfully small. How are we going to make that work? Ha.
Oh, I bet I know.
We're going to, I've already done my scoring. I scored the short side at 1 inch, and then that's going to fold over, and this is going to make my little hinge here. All right. Now, I'm going to grab my piece of vellum, and the vellum is cut at the same size that a card front would be, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take my Tombow here.
I love Tom.
Oh, I do. When he's cooperating and behaving.
That's true. That's true.
And I'm going to put the glue on the inside, like today. He's not now. No, he was just cooperating for you.
Well, that's because I didn't get any claps, so he's not going to cooperate for you.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. And I'm going to put a little bit on the edge there. That's because it's almost gone. I burn through this stuff very fast. And now I'm going to take my piece of vellum. I'm going to lay it right on the card front here. And I want to try to line it up with the edges, top and bottom, right side. Then I'm just going to fold this hinge right over top so that it adheres to the front of the vellum. All right. And now you have the cute little front for your card. Dory, could you please cut me a piece of gorgeous grape at 1 inch by 5.5 inches?
I think I can.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right, just when you think you had everything in control. Yes, I've learned that.
Do we ever have
No, never. All right, I will show you the little trick with the other strip in just a second when Dory cuts it for me.
Well,
yeah, if you can find something in there. Or look in my scraps. Oh, there's a piece.
Oh, there it is.
I know. I might have to get a new one. All right. So now next thing we're going to do is put together the front of the card. We're going to use a piece of old olive. And this is cut at 3 1/4 by 4. And then we're going to take a beautiful piece of the hydrangea. And this is cut at 3 by 4 1/4, whatever it would be to make the. We're three. Thank you. Just so we have our border around. If you want dimensions for this, you can go on my blog or my YouTube channel because I cannot think of the dimensions this morning. It's not registering, but it's the smaller than the cardstock, just so we have the nice little border around the edge. They're thinking, oh man, what's going on in that place? All right.
They only know.
It's the crazy town here. Okay, there we have our lovely piece that's going to be on our card front. Now, let's go back to our strip that Dory was kind enough to cut for me. And that is too short. Can you cut it at 1 by 5.5?
Oh, 5.5.
Yes.
Yes, I would love to.
All right, so I might have said the wrong, I apologize.
All right.
And in order to put this on our front piece without having a bit of glue showing through, I am just going to put the glue along the left-hand side here, just along the very edge. And then I'm going to adhere it to the front of the card and make sure that the border all around is equal. So all that's going to be adhered is this very short edge here of the front panel. All right, so then when you open it, you're not going to see any glue. And let's go ahead and take this piece here that we've been working so hard to create.
Yeah, really.
Yes, we did it.
That was a masterpiece.
I know. Well, see, this is where I glued the vellum. So I'm always like to stick a little strip in here just to cover up that place, because that's just the way I am. My perfectionist tendencies don't like that. So I cover it up, and it just gives it a little cleaner look when you're opening up the card. Okay, so let's do that again. Here's the front. And then when we open, we have that nice strip there instead of the goopy mess. All right, now I also like to put a piece of the DSP along the edge of the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then that peeks through the edge of the cardstock, which looks so cute. So this is 5.5 by 2 as well. I mean 5.5 by 1 inch. And then when you close it, you can see that through the vellum. Isn't that pretty? I love this. You could actually probably put a whole piece if you wanted to. That would work as well. Now, this is the part I love. Okay, this is the piece that is going to either have your stamped sentiment or something you wrote, okay, for the card. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay it on this side of the card and line it up It's the exact same size as the piece of old olive on the other side. I'm going to line it up with that piece very carefully because we don't want it to show through once we have the card closed. So then I'm going to take my back cover of the card, or the back panel, and bring it over and glue. And now when I open my card, there is my panel for my words, what I decide, and then here is the front panel, and you can't see the white through there. I just love that. So pretty. Okay, now let's go ahead and put together a real simple embellishment for the front. I'm going to start with a stitched circle in basic white, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on that.
You can't have anything without a stitch on it these days.
I know, that's what we were just chatting about that.
I love all this.
Yep.
I love all things stitched.
All things stitched. And there we go. I put that right here on the bottom right corner. It hangs off a little bit onto the vellum. You want to be careful not to put any glue on the circle, and then it'll kind of show through on the vellum. But this way, you just have the circle showing through. And then what I did, which is another really great tip, you can look through the pack of incredible designer series paper with this Hydrangea Hill. There's one piece that has, the design is just a bunch of individual hydrangea plants. So I just took my scissors and fussy cut one of those out, and I'm going to use that as my embellishment on my circle. I thought, hey, that's easy. No stamping, no blending. So when you're in a hurry, don't forget about that fussy cutting. And if you're sitting around and watching television at night, you can take a piece and like fussy cut all of them out and then have them ready to go when you need them. So this is my little embellishment for the front. Then I took a 1/4 inch strip of basic white and used one of the sentiments from the set, the Hydrangea set, "The world is better because of you." So nice. And I'm going to go ahead using dimensionals and put that right across the front over my beautiful hydrangea plant. I wish I could like grow hydrangea that like actually looked good. My mom was such a, so good at it. They were gorgeous. And I'm not a good, don't have a green thumb. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But they are just the most gorgeous plants. All right, so there you have it. There is the sentiment on the front. Last little detail I like to add sometimes to cards is a little piece of baker's twine. This baker's twine is from the Snail Mail Suite. You get the white and the Blushing Bride, I believe that is. You can see how much of the Blushing Bride I've used a lot. Still have a lot of the white. And remember, if you do have white, you can always use your blends and color it, and it will become any color baker's twine that you need. But we're going to use white with this one. I just ran it through and threaded it right at the binding of the card or the fold. And then I'm going to go ahead and tie around that fold and just have a little bow at the top. Sometimes it's fun to add just a little something along the...
Little something, something.
Something, something. That's what I call it. My something, something. And then I'm going to pull the loops a little bit. And I'm going to grab my scissors and cut those off. Oops. Try again. Missed. Okay. And there it is. That is how easy that card is to put together. This is a great one. If you got to do multiples, you can just line this up and it's real easy to put together. But if you haven't already, grab you some of that great vellum cardstock. It really adds something really beautiful to the card. So this is the card, and let me show you what I had showed my group last night, something I made. We made this box for cards. So you open it up, and then there's this pocket over here for your cards. I'll put these both in here. Oops. And then there's a smaller pocket here that you can add maybe a book of stamps or some personalized return addresses, a picture of you.
So
yes.
Every time they open the book, they think of you.
Yes. Or I even thought of like you could make like a tiny little address book. Use like computer paper and then put a piece of the designer series paper for the cover, and they could have addresses there.
No, I would put in a photo of myself.
Oh, you would, I know.
Saying.
And here I again use the hydrangea plant fussy cut out for the front. So this was something we made last evening, and this is on my blog along with a PDF if you're interested in that. But please give the vellum cards a try. Super fun, and you'll impress your friends for sure.
You can, and it's great. Like you could use it with any DSP that you have. So this is a beautiful suite, and it has beautiful designer series paper. But in our main idea book and catalog, and in the JJ catalog, you have a lot of different options. So.
And I even used it with some of the masculine paper, and it makes a beautiful
no, it makes a manly, not beautiful.
Well, yes, it makes a manly, handsome,
yep.
That's good, handsome Father's Day card. So vellum's not for just for girly cards. If you use it with the more masculine paper, it looks gorgeous as well. So go grab you some of that vellum. You'll love it. You'll thank me for it. All right, so that's it. Have anything else? Ooh, we want to put out all our choices here. This one, let me grab it in here. This is our to-go kit for today. We hope you enjoyed our... Okay. Yep, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Our stroll on Hydrangea Hill. How about that? Wasn't that tricky?
A stroll down Hydrangea Hill.
So, these card kits with envelopes are free with a $30 order.
That's right.
Or $15
for the kit.
For the kit.
Plus shipping if you're porch pickup, that's great. But if you need them shipped, we can do priority shipping for you as well.
Yep. So I hope you got your purple fill for the day.
Oh my gosh.
I certainly did. And I hope Lisa did too. Yep, she said she did.
She's like, love all the purple.
Yes. So thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed our class today, and we hope to hear from you soon. Take care.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.